Bart Gets Hit by a Car was the 10th episode of Season 2, broadcasted first on January 10th, 1991, which, by the way, was my second birthday, on a small personal note. Written by John Swartzwelder, the second in a row after Itchy and Scratchy in March, and directed by Mark Kirkland. One day, Bart is skateboarding when he is suddenly hit by Mr. Burns' car. An attorney named Lionel Hutz, voiced by Phil Hartman, suggests that the Simpsons sue Burns, promising a big cash settlement. Homer agrees, and he and Hutz spend time fabricating Bart's story, taking him to see Dr. Nick Riviera, who has dubious credentials. Marge opposes suing Burns and would be happy with him paying Bart's medical bills and apologizing. Burns eventually finds out about the phony doctor, and Marge is called to the witness stand during the trial. She refuses to lie, and her testimony leads to the trial being lost. In this episode, this marks the debut of, as I said, Lionel Hutz, Dr. Nick, and also the blue-haired lawyer as supporting characters. Also making her debut into the series was the show's then script supervisor, Doris Grau, who you may remember as Doris on The Critic. She was used because of a unique voice and also appears as a minor character in the episode, and would later become known for voicing Lunch Lady Doris in the series. This is another episode where a lot of the greatness really does come from the ending and how they play it out. Not to say that the episode itself is bad in particular, far from it. It's another really good episode from Season 2 that perfectly satirizes how courtroom cases go completely out of hand for something so small. It actually kind of reminded me, of all things, of an Alvin and the Chipmunks episode from the 1980s. There's this episode where Alvin borrows, in quotation marks, Dave's new bike when he is out riding, and he almost hits Brittany, who is out roller skating, causing him to crash. The bike is ruined and her skates are scratched. They each blame each other, and Alvin demands Brittany pay for David's bike, and she insists he pay for her roller skates. All this is brought up into a courtroom show, basically a TV show. Basically the equivalent of the People's Court, where Brittany and Alvin ignore the truth part in justice, facing off in a who could tell a better lie about what happened courtroom battle.
And on top of that, I suffered an emotional collapse. Emotional collapse? What a liar! Well, if it isn't honest Eddie. Give me my money over my dead body! Blood! Oh, fake!
We'll return after a brief station break.
AKA what we just saw recently with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, in a way.
Your Honor, it's a lie! It's Don Johnson! See, Your Honor? What did I tell you? She was faking!
But it really does feel like that. This episode really does feel like that particular episode. But then again, there are two very different types of animated shows. That was intended for kids, and this one was more intended for adults. But you get the idea. But it's a great episode, by the way. You should definitely check that one out. And it's just great to watch Homer and Lionel Hutz basically willing to fabricate the truth to win this fight. And once again, it's Marge who has the voice of reason, which leads to that really good, powerful ending. It's a great, realistic style ending that plays very well, in which Marge decides not to lie. Homer actually gets angry that she cost him $1 million so much that he doesn't even know if he loves her anymore.
Homer, I'd like you to forgive me for doing the right thing.
Oh, Marge.
We've squabbled over money before. Never this much. I mean, I know this is different than that time I washed your pants with a 20 in the pocket, but
No. You think this is about money? Well, it's not. It's worse, Marge. I'm afraid that from now on, when I look at you, I'm not going to see the wife by my side or the mother of my children. I'm just going to see the dame who blew my one big chance.
What are you saying, Homer?
I'm saying she's been your wife for 10 years. You've had 3 children together. It's time to be honest with her. I'm not sure I love you anymore. But don't worry, I'll never let on. I'll still do all the bad stuff. Maybe it won't be so bad.
Oh, my Lord!
The way that this scene is played out, Dan Castellaneta does such a great job making us believe that Homer really is thinking this, and he's not just saying this to be over-dramatic. He's not doing this to be, dramatic over something that wasn't that big of a deal as it eventually plays out. He really thought that he was going to try to get $1 million from Mr. Burns, and the fact that Marge ruined it for him, it's a sincere and honest reasoning for Homer, and he thankfully realizes that money is not important, and that Marge and his family is more important than all the money. And the way they shoot this scene is just so well done. You could tell that James L. Brooks pitched this idea to them. And why not? This is the guy that made great tearjerker movies in the 80s with Terms of Endearment. He made great movies like Broadcast News. He's a man who's behind a ton of great films, and he brings his expertise from film to this particular episode, and it gives the episode a much more emotional ending than it probably deserves, but it helps carry the episode to another echelon where I would say that it's a really good episode.
Well, I don't want to wait another minute to find out whether you love me anymore. I think that you should look me in the eyes and find out.
No.
Homer, look at me.
All right. Look at her if it'll shut her up. Start with the feet. Still angry. Good, Homer, good. This is tough. Need refreshment. Oh, good old trustworthy beer. My love for you will never die. All right. Gotta look at the wife straight in the eyes and tell her.
Far from it, I should say. It's actually a really great episode that does get a lot of its best moments in that third act. And once again, a lot of great satirizing about how people take these small claims courts as seriously as they can, even though the idea of small claims court is not to be taken this seriously. They turn it into much more of a bigger deal for financial gain, and it climaxes in a smartly written, perfectly executed finale with a lot of heart mixed in with a lot of very funny moments. It's another great episode and one to definitely check out. Bart gets hit by a car.
Oh, who am I kidding? I love you more than ever.
I love you, too.
Sorry to scare you like that, babe.
Okay, everybody. For the next 15 minutes, 1/3 off on every picture. I want per customer, domestic beer only. Hey, no sharing.